What's up, fuckers, and welcome back to another 5-year rebuild here on NBA 2K22 Next Gen, and today we got the Boston Celtics. This is a Celtics team that just had a historic turnaround in a regular season. They went from basically being out of the playoffs all the way up to the 2 seed, then on to the NBA Finals. Sadly, they lost the Warriors in 6 games, but the future for this team is very bright. Obviously, this is my favorite team, and I'll have a lot of thoughts on them once we do hop into the video. Real quick, we're now officially on the road to 40,000 subscribers. Once again, big thank you to you guys for 30,000. So, of course, if you are new around here and have not hit that subscribe button yet, we would greatly appreciate it. Join the community. We'd love to have you. Other than that, comment any other video ideas down below in the comment section. Seems like you guys have been commenting a lot more challenges recently, and we'll get into those very, very soon. But without further ado, let's see if we can get banner 18 for the Boston Celtics. Let's quickly take a look at the Celtics roster before we do start sim year number 1. The one kind of major move I would say they made this offseason was the trade with the Indiana Pacers, acquiring Malcolm Brogdon. Marcus Smart's obviously here, just won a Defensive Player of the Year, one of the most loved players in Celtics history. I don't want to trade him. Unfortunately, he's one of those guys that is just kind of there, doesn't really regress, doesn't really progress, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. I have no plans of trading him as of now. We will see. Peyton Pritchard, backup point guard spot. Was a guy who can hit some clutch threes. Coming out of Oregon, been in the league for a couple years now. Honestly, not the best, but not the worst backup point guard. I'm very comfortable with him, only 24 years old, obviously on a cheap deal as well. J.D. Davison out of Alabama was their second-round pick this year. We got Malcolm Brogdon, the man who came over in the deal with the Indiana Pacers. I believe the way that the Celtics are kind of currently projecting their lineup to be is that they're going to have him as a sixth man. Here in 2K, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to have him starting. I think it makes the most sense. I know that the 2 big rotation with Horford and Williams both starting did work a lot. That being said, I think we can make it work a little bit better because Brogdon's a little bit younger, a little bit of a higher overall if he is in the starting 5. Derek White, who had a somewhat tough finals at some points, but he was a very key piece of this Celtics team actually making it there. So I love Derek White. I was really happy that we made that trade with the Spurs. Josh Richardson went over to San Antonio. Jaylen Brown, who continues to be disrespected by pretty much everybody, and it's absolutely insane. God knows why, but he appears like he wants to be in this city, and I love him. And I cannot wait for him to make an All-NBA team this season. Danilo Gallinari was a free agent signing after he was released from the Spurs. That was the DeJounte Murray and Atlanta Hawks deal with the Spurs. Basically, kind of just gave the Hawks DeJounte Murray, but yeah. Gallo was bought out by the Spurs, signed a 1-year deal with the Celtics. We have Jayson Tatum here, who, a lot of people have various opinions on. Some people, like myself, think he's a top 10 player, and then some people don't even put him top 20 because he had a finals performance that maybe wasn't too good when he was injured. So, JT struggled. We're hoping he can bounce back in today's video and maybe get that finals MVP that he probably covets very, very much. Grant Williams, who has progressed immensely, for lack of a better term, for the Celtics. This was a guy a couple years ago that I wanted them to just straight up release, and he's become a very consistent, very reliable backup big man off the bench. He can also shoot the ball. I mean, hell, the man hit 7 threes in a game against the Milwaukee Bucks in the Eastern Conference semifinals. So I'm excited to have Grant here today. And then obviously Robert Williams, probably one of the cheapest, one of the best bargain contracts in the league. Obviously the health is a little bit of a concern, but he's an absolute monster when healthy. Probably top 3 candidate for DPOY next year. Then Al Horford, the OG, the dad of this team, if you will. He's going to continue to regress, so he'll probably have 1, maybe 2 years here in Boston. But I love Al Horford, and hope we can get him a championship within the first year or 2, whatever it may be. But that being said, this Celtics team's obviously probably a top 2 or 3 team here in the entirety of the NBA. I would definitely expect us to be contending. Before we do that, though, I'll see you guys at the rotation. All right, here's how it's going to look. So not an exact representation of what the Celtics are actually going to do in real life, but here in 2K, here's how we're going to do it. Marcus Smart, Malcolm Brogdon, Jaylen Brown, Jayson Tatum, and Robert Williams. I'm very comfortable with that starting 5. I think the addition of Brogdon next to a guy like Marcus Smart is extremely scary defensively, and I think it kind of adds another element of scoring because obviously Al Horford can score the basketball. That being said, he's now 35, 36 years old. He's not as reliable as he once was. You get a guy like Malcolm Brogdon in here, who obviously former Rookie of the Year, underrated player for the entirety of his career, in my opinion. I'm super happy to have him here. The bench, it's honestly not the best. It's not the worst. You got Derek White here as the 6th man, followed by Al Horford, Peyton Pritchard, Grant Williams, and then Danilo Gallinari. So it's an interesting bench. It's going to be an interesting dynamic nonetheless. That being said, I would like to maybe go out and win a championship year 1. Get banner 18 here in Boston. I think that'd be awesome. I will see you guys at the end of the first season here in Boston. Luka Doncic, first career MVP award. We are going to go ahead and count this one because it was a triple-double. It's my new threshold, basically, because Luka wins 3 to 4 MVPs a video. If it's not a triple-double, I don't actually count it. Hopefully you guys feel the same way. We're the 1 seed here in the East, which is obviously awesome. The East basically runs through Boston now. You have a Game 7 in the Eastern Conference Finals on your home floor, which is great to see. Also number 1 in the power rankings. Chet Holmgren, Rookie of the Year. Ben Simmons, Giannis. These things literally never change. Nick Claxton, Most Improved. Ime Udoka, Coach of the Year. We go 64-18. Not a bad record. I would currently project the current Celtics roster in real life to be somewhere around 55 to 60 wins. That's obviously a little bit of a wide range, but I can kind of see them around there if everything obviously goes right. Nobody has any bad injuries, knock on wood, for the love of God. But 4 games ahead of the Atlanta Hawks. Who are they? Benching Trae Young and starting? Yes, they are. I would find it hard to believe that he didn't win the 6th Man of the Year award if he was coming off the bench. Let's look at the numbers on the year. Jayson Tatum, 29 points a game. About 8 boards, 5 assists. I mean, the dude's an absolute monster. Jaylen Brown, Malcolm Brogdon, Rob Williams, Derek White, Marcus Smart, Al Horford, Peyton Pritchard, Gallo, Grant Williams as well. He got the legend Sam Hauser on this squad. Absolute sniper when he heats up in those final 4 minutes of a blowout game. All right, let's sim the plan. Let's see who we got here. We got the Charlotte Hornets back in the playoffs. Oh, they added Bradley Beal. I don't have an updated shared file, so I'm assuming they just went out and signed him in free agency because still looking for an updated shared file on PS5. Anybody has one, let me know down below in the comment section because Lord knows I need it. We're on to round 2 here. The Toronto Raptors, Fred VanVleet, Gary Trent Jr., OG Anunoby, Scotty Barnes, Mr. Rookie of the Year, and then Pascal Siakam. They got Thomas Bryant off the bench, who also will not be with that team next year. But it's 2K. We're up 3-0. They get a game in Game 4, and they went another one in, and we're on to the Eastern Conference Finals. Taking on the Cleveland Cavaliers. Young, up-and-coming team, but they're definitely scary, especially in that front court. You can take a look at their lineup right here. They brought Sexton back as well. I'm surprised they're not starting Sexton, but good team, nonetheless. A scary team, but maybe we're just a little bit more experienced at this point. We are up 3-1, and oh boy, here we go. I thought I was going to be able to somehow avoid them. I don't really know why I thought I would be able to avoid the Pelicans in the first season, but we're up 2-1 here. We go up 3-1. All right, please don't blow this. Oh my God, we're going to blow it, aren't we? I'm not going to hop it in year 1 because I don't want to get the glitch, but I'll simulate with Simcast, and if we somehow blow this, we're going to probably end this video right now. There's just no shot, right? Yeah, we're not blowing this, right? No, we're good. Banner 18 is officially hanging in the TD Garden as Jayson Tatum redeems himself for the year prior and goes on to win Finals MVP, and he has a hell of a series. He shot 53% from 3. That's absolutely insane. Okay, we're in a good spot right now. We got a championship. I'm not going to sit here and tell you the pressure's off because, we really didn't do anything. But that being said, I think there are definitely moves to be made with this team, albeit maybe some smaller ones. But, we're in a really good spot right now to potentially be championship contenders for the next 4 years of this rebuild. I'm not going to fire Ime Udoka, who just won Coach of the Year. I think they need to up his ratings in 2K23 because he's a hell of a head coach. Let's take a look at our pick. Oh, that's a 2nd round pick. I was like, whoa, baby, I did not notice that. I'll draft somebody with that pick. I don't want to say it's basically a 1st round pick because it's not. I hate that argument. It's like, oh, well, the 30th pick's basically a 2nd. And then you can sometimes have the argument that the 1st pick in round 2 is basically a 1st. Like, I hate that argument. I hate it for football. I hate it for basketball. I hate it for everything. So we do have a 2nd round pick, albeit number 1 overall, Matthew Cleveland. Not the worst, maybe backup shooting guard. I mean, I don't know. Here's the thing. I don't know a ton about this draft class, especially as it goes on and gets deeper and deeper. But as we can see, he's a 74 overall. And, I'm not going to sit here and tell you I'm going to trade Derek White, but eventually maybe he could be a guy who's in a trade. So I'll take Matthew Cleveland. He actually is a 74 overall. Yes, I'm going to sign him. 2K almost just didn't sign him for me. Pritchard and J.D. Davison will be coming back. I should have sent J.D. Davison to the G League. Grant Williams, kind of our one big free agent, if you will. And I mean, the term big, he's a very good role player. I think I'm going to replace Gallo. It's time to move on from Danilo Gallinari. But that being said, I'd like to sign a replacement backup small forward. Oh, Al Horford's also a free agent. We got Al a championship, so I'm not going to feel as bad if we move on from him. He's just 37. He'll probably be a 74 overall by the start of next year. You would think the man would hang it up at this point. Would I prefer that or signing a guy like Nerlens Noel? Al Horford wants a 1-year deal. I can live with that. We'll bring back Al Horford, maybe get him a 2nd championship in here. I'm actually not going to renounce the rights on Gallo. Maybe I can go ahead and get him back as well, and then we can trade him maybe for a new backup. Potentially small forward. So let's look. We got Gallo, coming back on a 1-year minimum deal. And Grant Williams wants about $8 million a year. That's not horrible market value for, I'd say, his value specifically. So we get those guys back. It's good to have Al Horford back. I'm happy we got him a ring here in Boston. Other than that, Matthew Cleveland is 6'7", so like low key, I could just maybe trade Gallo for a pick at this point, because I think I might as well go ahead and get some use out of Matthew Cleveland, have him be my backup small forward, backing up Jaylen Brown here. I don't think it's the worst idea in the world. So Matthew Cleveland going to be getting the backup small forward minutes. I think Gallo is probably just going to get me a pick at this point. I think it's probably the best thing we can do with him. We just don't need him. He's 34 years old. I mean, I know you can make the argument you just signed 37-year-old Al Horford, but it's different. It's a lot more sentimental to me, if we're being honest here. So 2 first-round picks from the Hornets. They were just in the playoffs, so maybe it wasn't the best value, but that's... yeah, I'm going to do that. All right, that's a beautiful trade right there, getting that Spurs pick. That being said, this team, we didn't maybe improve a lot, but we just won a championship. We didn't have to improve a lot. I'll see you guys at the start of year 2 here in Boston. Here's how it's going to look for the second season here in Boston. We have no changes in the starting 5. Really not a ton of changes on this team in general. Marcus Smart, Malcolm Brogdon, Jaylen Brown, Jayson Tatum, and Robert Williams remains the starting 5. It's a hell of a starting 5 and just won us a championship. Bench unit, Derek White, Peyton Pritchard, Grant Williams, Matthew Cleveland, Al Horford is down to around a 74, 75 overall. So it's definitely going to be his final year here. But, I want to see him retire a Celtic. I really do at this point. Let's see what happens. We're trying to go back-to-back. I'll see you guys at the end of year 2. It's honestly a beautiful way to kind of wrap up a second regular season here. Jayson Tatum, first career regular season MVP, coming off a finals performance for the ages and a finals MVP. 29 points, 8.5 boards, 5.5 assists for our young superstar. Once again, the 1 seed here in the East. It's awesome. Victor Wembanyama went number 1 overall to the Washington Wizards, wins Rookie of the Year. Brickleberry Simmons continues winning 6 Mans of the Year. Giannis continues winning DPOY. Shaedon Sharp, most improved. Wins it a lot, actually, in year 2. JB Bickerstaff, Coach of the Year. So I guess we did not win 62 games this year. Kind of disappointing. Well, actually, we did. Never mind. We went 62-20. What did we win? 64 games last year? Really nothing changed too much. Tatum and Brown continue to be one of the best duos in the entirety of the league. Got Malcolm Brogdon, Robert Williams with a double-double. Very impressive out of our young big man. Derek White, Peyton Pritchard, Marcus Smart, Matthew Cleveland, Al Horford, Grant Williams. All right. So, it's relatively the same thing as last year. We're just continuing to kind of run it back a little bit. Raul Neto, what in the world? There's just no way we're losing against that team. Here's the thing. I don't really think there's like a ton of big moves to be made with this team today. That being said, I will try to spice it up, especially if we somehow win a championship in this season as well. I know that's going to continue to be boring if we just continue running it back with the same exact team and basically winning championship out to championship. That being said, we got to get there first because we got to get by the Cleveland Cavaliers, who we had a fun East Finals with last year. It looks like they've continued to progress and continue to get better. We are up 2-1 quickly. We're to go. We got a best of 3 series now. We're up 3-2. We close them out in 6. And wow, it's the Grizzlies this year, not the Pelicans. I guess I'm a little bit more comfortable with that just because how much of a demigod that Zion is. But that being said, this is not a bad team. This is 100% a team that we could definitely lose to still. So let's see what happens. We're 1-1. We go down 2-1. Wow, are we going to lose? We might lose. We're going to Game 7. And we lose in year 2. And Jaron Jackson Jr., Finals MVP. That's not the way I thought this one was going to go. I thought we beat the Pelicans, who are typically the squad that's annoying to play. Zion Williamson's just an absolute monster, and then we somehow lose to the Grizzlies. Congrats, Memphis. That Spurs pick's number 1 this year. We have their unprotected pick next year. Funny enough, good. The Pelicans have 2 top 4 picks. How did the Bucks suck? Can you explain that to me? I don't get that. Ime is definitely not going anywhere. That's just crazy to me. Like, I get the Lakers sucking just because that whole team's a retirement home, but I do not get the Milwaukee Bucks sucking. They probably have the best player in the league. That's crazy to me. We do have the 28th overall pick. Let us see who I want to take here. Arterio Morris is a point guard. I'm thinking maybe Josh Ojenua. Just potentially because we need a new backup center for Al Horford. That's like a position of need, I think, potentially for us. Maybe that, or I don't really know. Like, other than that, maybe I want to replace Derek White, but all right, I'm going to take Joshua here. He actually is a C- overall, though. Maybe that's not the best pick in the world. Alex Fudge, strictly based off of name, could be fun. Yeah, Alex Fudge. I'm a fat kid, so I'm going to go ahead and take Alex Fudge. He's a 73 overall. I do not know if he'll get into the rotation or not. Matthew Cleveland, second-round pick. Definitely coming back. I sent J.D. Davis into the G League. He's up to a 72 overall. still probably really won't play for us. Pritchard's going to get that qualifying. I'd like to bring him back. That being said, it could be time for us to make a kind of a bigger move. I'm obviously going to pay Jaylen Brown. I'm not going to trade him. I'll just give him the no trade clause. And then I do want to bring back Pritchard, but I will wait till after the moratorium period. So we get Jaylen Brown back, which is huge. Going to have him here the entire video. I'm not even going to pretend that he's an option to be traded. Pritchard wants just under $10 million a year. That's not too bad, but it's time to make some sort of trade. I'm not going to leave this team exactly the same. And we also do need to find a new backup center. So who are the backup center options here? Birch, Cousins. I'm not bringing Tristan Thompson back. That was a gross experiment. Let's make a trade first. We're going to see if Lonzo Ball is an option here for our new potential starting point guard. Look, I don't want to trade Derek White or Marcus Smart, especially not the both of them in one trade. That being said, we've won a championship. It's going to continue to be very boring if we don't make a big move. So Lonzo gets a lot younger, probably a little bit of a better passer as well than both of these guys, better playmaker in general, but I'd love to add Lonzo to the squad. So I will give you like Alex Fudge if you really want him. That's a great name, but I'd rather keep the picks if I'm being honest. Oh, this is Spurs pick. Wow, 3 stars in value. Definitely not trading that. You could have my first next year if you want it, and then you could have my first in 2026 if you want it, and you can have my first in 2027 if you want it. They agree to that. So Lonzo Ball's here. I know it's a lot. Probably not a trade that I really love making, but it's one that definitely probably improves the team in the long run. So that being said, we're still in the market for a backup center and a backup shooting guard. So we definitely need to find some options there. A guy like Luke Kennard definitely could be a good shooter off the bench for this team. Shooting was definitely something the Celtics lacked, especially in the finals. So it's not a bad option whatsoever. And then the center spot, we're probably not going to find anybody great. I'm going to sign a guy like Joe Harris, and I'm going to trade him then for a center who probably not going to be anybody too good, but, we can look for a guy who doesn't need to play any more than 10 minutes a night. So Joe Harris also could have been a fun shooter if he just wasn't so old. Let's look at some center options potentially, and I'm not really getting anything but first-round picks. Oh, for the love of Christ. How tall is Isaiah Todd? He's 6'9". Barely has played, but you know what? I get a first-round pick as well. I'll take the risk. I'm going to move Isaiah Todd to the center spot. This is probably not the smartest move in the long run. He actually stays at a 74, but that's fine by me. I will see you guys here at the start of year 3 in Boston. We went to the finals last year for the 3rd straight season, and then unfortunately we did lose. So we've been to the finals technically if you're including the Warriors one in real life for the past 3 years, and we've lost 2 out of 3. So, it feels good to be in those finals, but you like to win them typically. Lonzo Ball is the new starting point guard. We got Malcolm Brogdon here still as well. Jaylen Brown signed a long-term extension with us. Jayson Tatum, hoping to do that with him this upcoming offseason. Then Robert Williams here anchoring down that starting center spot. The bench unit probably got a little bit worse, if we're being honest. That being said, I'm happy that a guy like Peyton Pritchard is maybe taking the next step a little bit into that 6-man role, backing up Lonzo Ball. So it'll be him, and then Grant Williams, and then Luke Kennard, Matthew Cleveland, and then Isaiah Todd. It's a team that definitely still has the talent to get to the finals, and I'm excited to see if it can happen. Year 3 is over, and we are still sitting atop here of the Eastern Conference. We are hoping for back to another finals, but hopefully winning our second finals this video. Trae Young, first career MVP, and he does it in, pretty crazy fashion. He balls the hell out. Xavier Booker, Rookie of the Year here in San Antonio. Hoping they sucked again because I really want their pick. Simmons, 6-man. Giannis Depoy, some things never change. Dylan Mitchell. Sorry, not Dylan. Dylan Mitchell, most improved player. Ime Udoka, Coach of the Year. So, our win total has been going down every year, but, that was good enough. I thought the Spurs would be worse. We're still the 1 seed, though. So, I can 100% live with that, and hopefully we can get back to the finals this year. Jayson Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Malcolm Brogdon, Lonzo Ball, Pritchard, Rob Williams, Matthew Cleveland. Actually, very impressive next step from Cleveland. Luke Kennard, Grant Williams, and then Isaiah Todd down there, our 6'9" backup center. That being said, I'm pretty sure Al Horford's 6'9" as well. All right, let's sim it. To the play-in, we got the Orlando Magic, very young team. Cole Anthony, Jalen Suggs, Cameron Whitmore, Paolo Banchero, Mo Bamba, Wendell Carter Jr., Franz Wagner, Fultz, Isaac. It's a deep team. They got Jakob Poeltl there as well. I'm still very confident we're going to win this series, but holy shit. All right, we got a battle of 2 MVPs here. Trae Young against Jayson Tatum. Rest of their lineup looks a little different. Adrian Griffin Jr. now into that starting lineup. OG Anunoby came over from the Toronto Raptors. Collins Capella. They got a Congo as their 6-man, and Jalen Smith. They got 2 centers immediately coming off the bench. It's an interesting move. It's a move that appears to be working for them as we're down 3-0. And wow, that's not the way I kind of wanted to go out here in year 3. And they blew a 3-0 lead. We're in these finals. Halliburton, Mathurin, Chris Duarte, Anderson. There's just no shot. That team's beating us, right? Wow, we went to 7 again. Holy shit. We've gone to 7 games every single round. That's bonkers. Pelicans here. So the second time we're going to be facing the Pelicans here in the finals. Their team got better. They got Ayo at the starting point guard spot. They traded for D'Lo and got him for their shooting guard. Ingram, Zion, Khalil Ware, Trey Murphy, Herbert Jones, Dyson Daniels. I mean, this is just insane. Like the fact that like that team is just always such a god. Like there's never a time that I've done one of these rebuilds that they just haven't been absolutely insane. That being said, we beat them in 5. So what? I mean, I'm hyping these guys up, and they haven't even won a championship in today's video yet. So, Jayson Tatum, second career Finals MVP. It's a thing of beauty. It really is. So let's hit the draft lottery. That Spurs pick, it's towards the back of the lottery. It's currently projected at 14. That sucks. It would have been number 1 last year. Let's send the lottery, see what happens. We stick right there at 14. That pick will either be in a trade, or I'll go ahead and I'll probably just end up drafting somebody to be off the bench, maybe new backup center, whatever it may be. I need to find Ime Udoka, and I need to bring him back immediately. Steve Kerr is here. I'm very comfortable with Ime Udoka right now. So if I can find him, I will be bringing him back. Hopefully I can find, there he is. I don't know why this game makes it so hard to find head coaches. It's impossible. It's because they added the new thing where you can sign like coaches like per, I don't want to say like per position, but like their specialty, if you will. 14th overall pick. What do I want to do with it? I'm probably just going to draft somebody, unless I maybe throw like Luke Kennard in that 14th pick up and I can find something like really good, but I'm really not seeing anything that's worth it. Maybe I could move up to 11 and get a future first from the Jazz. I mean, what's that Jazz team looking like right now? Probably still pretty decent. Yeah, we'll just keep the 14th overall pick. Maybe draft a new backup center. All depends who's honestly available here on the board at number 14. So the final lottery pick, you got James Brown here, so C+ or Flory Badunga. So there's 3 centers here, which is obviously awesome. James Brown, 7 foot tall out of Duke. I mean, he seems like the pick to me. So welcome to the Boston Celtics. You're going to be backing up Robert Williams. Actually a 78 overall. That is a huge upgrade at that backup center spot. Jayson Tatum goes into free agency, declines that option. Really not a shocker. He's going to get paid a lot more from us when he does decline that option. So we are obviously going to pay him. He has 17 offers, the only real one being from the Bucks. So it looks like they prefer. Oh my God, Giannis is going to go to the Hawks, isn't he? He always goes to the Trailblazers, and now it looks like he's going to the Hawks, a team that just took us to 7 games in the Eastern Conference semifinals, and now they're going to add arguably a top 1, 2, 3, whatever you want to call him, player in the world. That scares me. We're going to pay Jayson Tatum the full max deal, player option, no trade clause, because I cannot risk losing this man right here. I would be in some serious pain if we ended up losing him for nothing. Brogdon, also a free agent. Doesn't want a ton of money. I'm going to let Isaiah Todd go at this point in time. He's really not needed here. Matthew Cleveland, we do not have bird rights on him, considering he was a second-round pick. That being said, though, he is a restricted free agent, so we should be able to match kind of whatever he does end up getting. I can see a lot of people were telling me just to look them up by player, and you can typically sign them anyways. I've done it before, and it has worked. I'm not sure if it works with second-round picks, though. No, it doesn't here. So I'll just wait on him. It'll let me match an offer most likely. If not, I'll just typically probably go ahead and just wait, I guess, until he ends up accepting and qualifying. I'll see you guys at the start of year 4 here in Boston. Fresh off our second championship of this video, and this team continues to look really, really solid. Lonzo Ball, Malcolm Brogdon, Jaylen Brown, Jayson Tatum, and Robert Williams. The bench unit honestly got a little bit better, I'd say. Peyton Pritchard, Grant Williams, Matthew Cleveland came back on that qualifying offer. Will most likely get a longer-term contract from us this offseason. We added James Brown to this team, who's going to be an absolute stud for us, hopefully off the bench, at a 78 overall as the 14th overall pick. You don't see that every day, and then Luke Kennard still chilling down here as well. We've won 2. I'd like to win a 3rd. I'll see you guys at the end of year 4. Jayson Tatum gets his second MVP of this video as we continue just to run the Eastern Conference here. Jayson Tatum absolutely balls out again and gets another piece of hardware for the trophy case. This year, Cunningham, Rookie of the Year in Miami. Sabonis, we have a new 6-man. Looks like Brickleberry Simmons ended up with a new home. Jonathan Isaac, Depoy, Cason Wallace, most improved. Ime Udoka. We went 64-18 this year. It looks like this team continues to just absolutely dominate everybody. Wow, 55 wins in the East, and then you're 13 games back of the 1 seed. It is not often you can say that. Player stats, Tatum and Brown, probably close to the best duo at this point. My Celtics bias definitely showing a little bit. Malcolm Brogdon, Lonzo Ball, Rob Williams, double-double. Again, Matthew Cleveland, Peyton Pritchard. James Brown, our 14th overall pick, had actually a really solid rookie year. I'll take 8 and 4 with 1 assist a game. Almost half a block. Yeah, that's not bad. I will. Yeah, that works for me. Got Evan Fournier back in this team. All right, let's take a look at who we're going to be playing in the first round. It's going to be the Brooklyn Nets. Kyrie Irving, Cam Thomas, Kessler Edwards, Kevin Durant, Frank Kaminsky, Devin Vassell, Alzer Thompson, Chris Murray. All right, so Brooklyn's definitely done a little bit of a retool, if you will. I mean, they didn't blow up their roster, move on from KD and Kyrie. They retooled enough to get to the play-in, or back to the play-in, I should say, just to lose to 5. So I guess instead of getting swept, he lost in 5. It's it's improvement. I'll give you that, Brooklyn. Fultz, Jalen Noel, Cameron Whitmore, Paolo Banchero, Wendell Carter Jr. John Collins is a new addition there. It's an interesting fit with Paolo Banchero being an absolute star at this point, most likely, but whatever works for you. We get by them in 4, and Detroit Pistons. First time we face them today. Layden Blocker, I'm not going to lie, I've never heard of this man. Cade Cunningham, Hamidou Diallo, Jonathan Isaac, Jalen Duren, Isaiah Stewart, Jaden Ivey, Pat Connaughton, Obi Toppin. Just really doesn't move me. It really doesn't. And the Utah Jazz. Oh, Simmons did find a new home. Him and Josh Giddey. That's a lot of playmaking. I'll give you that. Anthony Black, Jared Vanderbilt, Tingus Pingus, Sexton, THT, Jaden McDaniels. All right, it's an interesting team they have there. That being said, I still think we're a lot better as we are up 3-0 here. And we sweep them in Jayson Tatum. Yet another Finals MVP. It's absolutely beautiful. And kind of closed out another championship for us today. And yeah, I'd like to win even another one in this video. What I'm trying to do the math right now. What would that be? Like banner 21 at this point? No, 2020. It'd be banner 20 at this point, I think. Yeah. Let's hit the NBA draft lottery. Let's see if we maybe trade. I don't think we... Oh, wait. I saw a Celtics logo. That Washington picks lottery protected. We're not going to have it. The Thunder, do you see that? Oh, my God. The Thunder. The Thunder have 3 top 5 picks. They're actually projected to have straight up the top 3 picks. Oh, that's absolutely crazy. I give all the credit in the world to Sam Presti. That's just... I know it's not going to actually look like that in real life, but like nobody wants that pick. That's just actually crazy, though. Like, that's really insane. Isaac Rhodes, actually a 72 overall. Could be a roster spot versus some just random old scrub veteran. I mean, I'll take him. Qualifying offers, Cleveland's going to get another one. We should have bird rights on him now. I'm going to give him a longer-term contract. Along with that, Rob Williams. That is my number 1 free agent priority. I'm actually going to wait on everybody else just to make sure I can get Robert Williams back. Because he is definitely the guy that I cannot let go from this team. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Grant Williams, and Matthew Cleveland's been really solid for us as well, but getting back my starting center is obviously my number 1 priority. So we're good. We get him back, which is nice. Hopefully I have the money now to get both of these guys back. We get Cleveland. We get Matthew Cleveland back, and then do we get Grant Williams back? Can we afford him? Wow, we can somehow afford him, which is honestly beautiful. It really is. So I'll make one small change, probably to the backup shooting guard spot. I don't really want to play Isaac Rhodes, who we just took with the last pick, the Mr. Irrelevant pick, if you will. He's a 72 overall, but I'd like to maybe get some sort of I can bring Luke Kennard back somehow. I'm gonna re-sign Luke Kennard, and then I'm just gonna trade him. I'll get the upgrade that way. I'll give him a $6.5 million deal. Maybe match it up with some other minimum contract, basically off the bench. So Luke Kennard. We'll actually throw in Isaac Rhodes as well. I know I said I drafted him just so that it wasn't a scrub getting those minutes, but it's the final season anyway. So that Wizards pick actually is pretty valuable. I need some sort of backup shooting guard that it is somewhat decent. We really don't find anything. Let's just look like here. Shooting guard. He'll do a maximum of like $6.5, $7 million a year, whatever it is. So it's just crazy because all these guys, it's probably going to be a very limited list. These guys are probably going to be making a lot of money. So like a lot of them are just going to be free agents at this point. So like who's the number 1 guy here off the bench? Terquavion Smith. It's actually listed as a point guard. I'm thinking more shooting guard, but I mean I know I did do both point guards and shooting guard. We actually got offered Jose Alvarado, who might come close to the best option. Keontae George could be an option for us. He's actually been pretty solid. Let's see if we can get Keontae George here. I will throw them Luke Kennard, and then you can have this Wizards pick as well. You can have any pick you want. It's the final season of this rebuild. They do that. Keontae George will be the 6th man now, or not the 6th man. He'll be backing up Malcolm Brogdon off the bench. This team is all set now for the 5th and final season. It is year 5 here in Boston. We have won 3 championships in this video, and we're looking to make it number 4. It's Lonzo Ball and Malcolm Brogdon, who is regressing a little bit. That being said, he's 33 years old, so I kind of understand it a little bit, but still maybe could have traded him. I think he's a solid enough option today to hopefully win us our 4th championship of this video. Jaylen Brown, Jayson Tatum, Robert Williams, bench unit Peyton Pritchard, Keontae George, James Brown, Matthew Cleveland, and Grant Williams. Reason I'm giving Keontae George more minutes than James Brown is strictly, I mean, it's 2 minutes game. It really doesn't change anything, but it's strictly based off how high of an overall Brogdon is versus how high of an overall Robert Williams is. So we're still in a really good spot, and we're hoping to get our 4th championship. I'll see you guys at the end of it. I believe this is the 5th straight season of us winning, or excuse me, I guess taking the 1 seed in the East. I'm like shocked. I can't even speak right now because I'm looking at Zion Williamson in a Kings jersey winning MVP. At least we wanted to face the Pelicans in the finals. Might have to face the Kings, though. Congrats, Zion. Koa Pete, Rookie of the Year. Also, this is maybe the first time in history that we've done a 5-year rebuild, and Luka Doncic has only won 1 MVP. That's bonkers. Koa Pete, Rookie of the Year. Isaiah Loheim is 6-man year. Lohem, excuse me, I'm terrible with names. You all know that. Giannis is in Atlanta. Fuck. I mean, I guess he was in Atlanta last year, and we somehow didn't have to face him, but interesting. Bronny James, most improved player. Dude, his dunk yesterday was nuts. Ime Udoka, I believe, is that the 5th straight year? No, it's 4 out of 5, I believe. Coach of the year for Ime Udoka. All right, so let's take a look at the standings. We're looking at the East. We were 62-20. The Hawks were, what? I don't care what the rest of the team looks like around them. You have Giannis and Trae Young on a team. They're not in the play-in. Come on, 2K. Tatum, Brown, Ball, Brogdon, Rob Williams, Keontae George, James Brown, Pritchard, Matthew Cleveland, and then Grant Williams. We scored a whole lot of points. We really did. That being said, the Atlanta Hawks are in the play-in. Do I have to face them in the first round? I do not. They lose in the play-in. And we got the Charlotte Hornets here with LaMelo Ball, 98 overall. Kind of insane because Jayson Tatum's only 96, but you do you, 2K, with your hype beast. Cole Anthony, Matas Buzelis, Wendell Carter Jr., Mo Wagner, Killian Hayes, Terry Rozier, Derek White, our old friend. Two of our old friends there was Scary Terry and Derek White. We're up 2-0 here on the Charlotte Hornets. We're up 3-0. And they get a game in there, and we win in 5. Moving on to the Chicago Bulls. DeJounte Murray, Desmond Bane, Kwame Evans Jr., Chuma Okeke, Ade Mar. It's a very new-looking team there. Really doesn't... Oh, wow. Okay. That scared me a little bit. Cade, Ivy, Moody, Toppin, Stewart, Ben Mathurin, Lowry Markkinen, Derek Lively, Malik Thomas. Pretty good Pistons team. I mean, I'd still say we're definitely better, but they've definitely improved. We're up 3-2 right now. We're on to the finals. Wow. Zion and the Kings couldn't get it done, huh? I mean, it's like, it's basically just, how is Zubac starting over Robinson? I mean, what are we doing here? Oh my God, they added Scoot. Oh my God. We might lose. That backcourt is one of the craziest things I've ever seen in my life. That's absolutely bonkers. We're up 3-2, though. I'd like to get a little bit of gameplay with this team, kind of close out this video on a high note, winning 4 championships. How are you? That being said, though, we got to battle for it, though. This is not a give me championship to end this video, and it looks like we're going to be going to, I believe, what is this, like our 125th Game 7 of this video? It really feels like it, but it feels like we've won all of them. Can we continue that streak? I'd really like to. We're on our home floor in the TD Garden, and we're kind of blowing out the Houston Rockets here in Game 7 of the finals. So we're going to get a little bit of gameplay. I'll see you guys in there. We are most likely, unless I have a historic lead blow, that sounds a little weird, going to be winning our 4th championship of this video, which is awesome. I want to use Jayson Tatum. It's not every day I get to use Mr. JT as I turn the ball over, obviously, because, why wouldn't I right now? Jaylen Brown's got 22 on the night. They're going to kick it to Malik Beasley in the corner. He's going to drill a 3 right in my mouth. This one's not, I wouldn't say out of reach completely, but it's hopefully close enough till we're at the point where I really do not need to be making like any stressful plays, if you will. Jaylen Brown, throw it down, baby. Oh, God, I love the man. I hope with every fiber in my body that he stays a Celtic for the rest of his career. I mean, I just truly love him. I really do love the man. Tough game for Malcolm Brogdon here and a closeout Game 7, but Scoot Henderson. Oh, Scoot Henderson, you are up to a 95 overall. You're very, very good. Can we get Lonzo in the game? Look, I like Peyton Pritchard a lot, but it's time for like Lonzo Ball to it's a closeout in a Game 7 here. We're not going to risk this. Oh shit! I hate the slow ass animation. It's so slow. Look, I know I suck at this game, but like that's such a slow, weird, annoying animation. Tatum's tired, which also kind of scares me a little bit. They're going to kick it over here to Derek Whitehead, over to Beasley, back to Whitehead. I feel like I'm like commentating football with how fast I'm talking. I don't know what they're doing. They really don't have the luxury of wasting a shot clock right now, so whatever works for you, I guess. I'm not really sure what that possession was. Rob Williams grabs his 13th board of the night. Tatum with 27, 7, and 7 in a Game 7. Funny enough. Down the floor, Robert Williams. No foul call. Gets the roll to go. Giving him 6 points on the night. Now, not bad for our 3-time NBA champion starting center. It'd be cool if we had Lonzo in here. I feel like he might be having a big game, low-key. Henderson against Peyton Pritchard is probably not going to end well. Jalen Green against Malcolm Brogdon. It's a little bit more of a favorable matchup. Still maybe not the most favorable matchup, but let's see what happens. Oh, shit. He hits that. All right, well, I guess, I would say this is out of reach. We'll do what we always do right now. We'll kind of talk about this team. This Celtics, squad, if you will, obviously did not just have the best finals performance. Especially a guy like Jayson Tatum, who is far and away still the best player on their team. That's not a good shot. He was injured. I'm not going to make that as a full-blown excuse. I mean, guys play through injuries all the time. I know severity levels change and stuff like that. But, I think they're going to bounce back. And there is not there's not a fiber in my body that wants this shit. There's not a fiber in my body that wants this team to trade for Kevin Durant. There's just not. I'm not giving the whole speech on KD. but I don't want it, and I'm assuming that 90+% of Celtics. Oh, I said Lonzo might be having a good game. He is not. Good call, Massa. I would assume the majority of Celtics fans probably agree with me. I really would. So that's my piece on that. I think the Celtics will be back in a big way. I'm hoping they win a championship. They're currently the betting favorites to win a championship. But obviously, things change. Oh, shit. But I'm hoping they can kind of come true this year. And because I would absolutely love to see Banner 18 in Boston. And I really would. So we'll see what happens with this team, though. That being said, we've had a very successful 5-year Celtics rebuild today. I'm sorry it took so long. I know I do have a lot of Celtics fans that, are subscribed and watch my videos. So I appreciate you. I actually very much appreciate all of you for letting me get to 30,000 subscribers. So that's been a fun ride. And again, I know I've thanked you guys a lot in last video yesterday, but it seriously just still means the world to me. And that 30K subscriber special will be coming soon. I'm very busy with work. I have basically I work 8 to 5 every day, and then I come home and make videos. So I'm trying to basically get that 10-year rebuild in that it's going to be. It's going to be probably going to record either this Friday or this Saturday. So we'll be coming up this weekend. I know a lot of you guys are looking forward to it, and I definitely am as well, because it's a celebration with all of you guys for basically allowing me to get to this point that I am right now. And I seriously cannot thank you guys enough. But we're closing out our 4th championship in today's video. I'm hoping we can maybe do that in our 10-year rebuild, win at least 4 championships. That would be cool. Zeke Naji's pulling a 3. What in the world? Looks like they've kind of given up, and we're going to be officially getting, what would this now be? Banner 21 here in Boston. I'm going to take the final shot here with Jayson Tatum. Give me a pick. I just want to take a shot with JT and just do something insane. Oh my God, no shot. Oh, that would have been nuts. Well, we win our 4th championship. It's insane. I'll wrap up the video now. That's what I typically tend to do when it's just, in here, just because the loading screen glitch might happen. So we'll close it out here. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Seriously, I appreciate you guys that watch me day in and day out. That is beautiful, seeing Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown dapping it up with championship. It's awesome. Let me know any other video ideas down below in the comment section. Of course, if you guys have not yet, the road to 40K is official. And if you guys would like to join the community, we continue to grow. And I continue to thank you guys every single day. I love you guys. Thanks so much for watching. I'll catch you guys on the next one.